a drink of blind fight. Bourbon and Syrah, we're tasting them all. With friends tuning in, we're having a ball. Raise a glass, let the good times roll. We're all here together, so on with the show. On Saturday night, trash paths unite. We're sipping on whiskey, it's a blind flight. Troy's telling the stories, Laura's talking to chat. Our friends are all here, what you think about that? We're clinking our glasses and laughing a lot. Good times, good friends, is what we all got. From old oak barrels to the stories we share. Every sip's a memory floating in the air. Raise a glass, let the good times roll. We're all here together, so on with the show. On Saturday night, trash paths unite. We're sipping on whiskey, it's a blind flight. Troy's telling the stories, Laura's talking to chat. Our friends are all here, what you think about that? We're clinking our glasses and laughing a lot. Good times, good friends, is what we all got. No troubles, no worries, just friends and a flight. Baker Drinks is live on this Saturday night. On Saturday night, trash paths unite. We're sipping on whiskey, it's a blind flight. Troy's telling the stories, Laura's talking to chat. Our friends are all here, what you think about that? So here's to the nights with Troy and Laura's crew. Whiskey in our glasses and our hearts ring true. From the first sip to the last, we'll keep it tight. On Saturday night, trash paths unite. Yeah, on Saturday night, trash paths unite. Yeah, on Saturday night, trash paths unite.
Cheers, everyone. Happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. It just feels wrong. It's so bright out. It's not Saturday night. It feels like Saturday day. But cheers. Thanks for being here. Let's see who is in chat. You're distracting me. Trying to say hi and you're telling me, get ready your earbud. Okay, we got Dave Vogel saying, tonight on Saturday night. Below average bourbon is here. Cheers to you.
What's up, Chris?
Top Dog says unite. I love it. Let's see. We got Hazmat C. Did he change his name?
No, I saw somebody
Is it a
mention.
different one?
No, there was a comment about their handles not showing up right for some reason.
Oh, okay. Well, that's strange. Yeah, I guess I don't know that Dave Vogelsang always said B8V. Maybe it did. I don't know. Rob Rhodes is here. Cheers.
C71 or C7I.
I don't know. Let's see. Jeremy Dirks. Cheers. Tracy. Silly Yorkie. That is weird. What happened? I know who these people are, but it doesn't look right. Let's see. Ragin' Cajun is here. Cheers. Gandy Road. Cheers to you.
Must not have taken that nap.
Not yet, anyway. We'll take it later. Valeth?
That's Dennis Trish.
Well, yeah, but I swear, just a second ago, I was seeing it said Dennis Trish, so now I don't understand. Douglas Papa is here. Cheers. Let's see. Rob Franklin, the shit show supervisor, is here as well. John Boy is here. Gosh, now I'm gotta look at the icon and be like, what was their name? And it's gonna be a struggle. It just said their correct names. Like during the intro video, it was saying it showed their names correctly. I don't know. Whiskey Wisdom says, cheers everyone, hanging out with the family, wanted to stop in and say hello. Well, thanks for saying hello. Four Leaf Whiskey is here saying cheers.
What's up, Stacy?
We will be drinking some her whiskey tomorrow.
Yep.
3 p.m. our time, 6 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yep.
Okay. Tom Black misses the roller coaster. Let's see. Who else do we have? It's so hard to look at.
Everybody's saying,
Why
see
are
right
they?
there.
Yeah, why are they not showing? I don't know. It's driving me crazy. Josh Fritz is here. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Yep, just not showing right. Okay, well, we'll figure it out, or we won't. Who else? Larry 3R is here. Cheers. Thanks for being here.
Cheers, Larry.
Mr. Richie J is here. Randy Lalonde is here.
So,
See,
Randy.
see, maybe he changed it. That's why. Changed the handle, so it's showing the handle and not the name or something. Let's see. Who
I wonder
else
if it's
do we have?
something we did.
I wouldn't know how. Andretsky is here. Cheers.
What's going on, Andretz?
Who else do we have? Lip Service Crew is here. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Ryan something. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Who else do we have? Torup is here. Cheers.
Torup is living.
Donard Pass Whiskey says cheers, Laura Troy and everyone.
Welcome.
Christian is here. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Mark Hajek. Cheers. Good evening. Let's see. Who else?
That's who got the ball rolling for tonight.
Oh, good. Yes, thank you. Can't wait to drink these. Okanagave. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Who else do we have?
Josh Fritz.
I think I said that. AI's messing with us. Yeah, it's really messing with me trying to read this. I'm like, why are there all these @ signs? Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiast, cheers. Thanks for being here.
Oh, hey.
Let's see. Who else do we have? I think that's it.
Paul Bro.
Oh, yep. Paul Bro, cheers. Thanks for being here. And Peter White, cheers as well. Troy's throwing off our palettes to start with tonight. We have you should say it.
So I asked Laura if she wanted a cocktail tonight. We typically have a cocktail every night before we start, except last week when we did the hot ones, the Scorch and Sip, we did not start with a cocktail. So tonight she said, yeah, let's do it. I saw a video, it sounded pretty good. It is a cherry Dr. Pepper margarita. So it's got some tequila, some triple sec, some lime juice, some muddled cherries,
Dr. Pepper.
and some Dr. Pepper. And it tastes pretty good.
It does taste pretty good, but it was very confusing because I didn't know what he made, and I took a sip and I was like, that is tequila and not what I was expecting it to taste like at all. So but
Yeah.
I like to have something to sip while we're talking.
And I keep getting little chunks of the muddled cherries.
Yeah, I got something to chew on while we're sitting here.
So yeah, that's the cocktail tonight. Happy Independence Day, everybody. We're celebrating it a little bit early because next Saturday night will be the 5th, and there's no point in celebrating it on the 5th.
Exactly.
If you watched the intro video, there is a new sticker tonight to celebrate the
It's that one.
4th of July, or Treason Day if you're from the UK.
Boom Boom Trash Palette. Happy 4th of July. For super chats, and then those are the bottles how do I want to word that? These are the samples that will be in the giveaway.
So if you feel so inclined to super chat us tonight, you'll be entered into a drawing for 4 2-ounce samples of those whiskeys. 2 of those are the JD Hero Selection Rise that came out this last year. One of those is a 13th Colony Wounded Warrior Project pick that Dave Vogelsang and Sean from Echoes in Eternity were involved with. And then the other one, it is also a Jack Daniel's rye, but it's a special one. That's from the Oak and Thieves. If y'all have heard of Will and Grease from the podcast, they had, or I don't know if they still have it or not, but they had a barrel pick club called Oak and Thieves, and that was the very first barrel proof rye pick that Jack Daniel's did.
And it's fantastic.
And it's for special forces. So those are all picks for veteran charities. That will be the $5 super chat tonight. Again, if you feel so inclined, you'll also get that sticker. If you're a patron of ours at any paid level and you haven't already won on our wheel, you will be entered into the drawing for some Doc Swinson's experimental series. It's the Funky Drummer, which is a Jamaican rum finished rye, and the Smoke on Water, which is a rye finished in a peated Scotch cask. 2 ounces of those. Once you win, you're removed from the wheel. Give everybody a chance to win. We have some free giveaways tonight as well. 4 2-ounce samples from our collection, just random stuff off the shelf. And we're going to put in a hashtag for those. Hashtag Triticale. Now, you're probably wondering, if you're a whiskey nerd, you know what that is. But if you're not, you're probably wondering what the heck is Triticale. We're going to find out a little bit later what that's all about. But it is hashtag Triticale. It is on the screen right there if you need help spelling that.
And let's see, we got a couple super chats. Sorry, I was distracted and I can't talk and think at the same time, apparently. Dave Vogelsang says, for the tater samples. Top Dog says, I'm in. Gandy Road, sticker me, please. Rob Franklin says, Venmo sent. West Virginia Bourbon Guy's having PC issues, so mobile chat. I understand it's tough to say everything you want to on the mobile chat. Silly Yorkie Whiskey for me. Thank you. Appreciate it as well. Rob Rhodes says, great samples. Awesome stickers. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. We got people putting the hashtag in. And
yep, we have some Venmos. I got C.A. Scotty says, happy early Independence Day. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy the holiday. Jeremy Dirks and Rob Franklin, you're both in, and it just says super chat.
There you go. And Chad is here. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Hopefully they fix whatever's going on with the chat, because I don't know that I can do this every single time and be like, I don't know who I'm talking to because the name doesn't look right. We do have a guest coming on. We saw him in the background just a minute ago, but he's gone, so hopefully he comes back.
Yeah,
if not, we'll do the show without him.
Yeah, so you saw in the thumbnail for tonight's live stream and in the intro video, we're going to be featuring the Distillarium tonight, which is a distillery in Yakima, Washington. Semi-local to us. They're east of the mountains from us, but close enough. They're in state. And we're going to have their owner come on in a little bit and talk all about Distillarium. In the meantime,
we got one more super chat. Below Average Bourbon says, awesome sticker. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know. Troy thanks you since he puts all the work in for the stickers. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's cool. And honestly, I saw it and knew what we were doing, but he designed it back in January, so in my mind, we did it last year. So I was like, isn't that the sticker from last year? He's like, no, this is this year. It's new. I'm like, oh, you just designed it in January, and I forgot that we haven't given it away yet. So,
yeah, and because it's a holiday sticker, it's kind of a one and done thing. We'll have some different stickers next week, or maybe we'll have the.
I don't know. We got piles of them
This one
sitting
here,
here.
again.
Troy's got 2 more that he's already planned and already made up that we haven't given out yet that are sitting on the table. So, that's just kind of what we do. We like to do new stickers all the time.
Yeah. and you guys typically don't get to see this, but we'll do it live tonight. We always put our sticker on the wall behind us. And that's the one for tonight.
Struggling here. I can't suck up my drink because it's getting cherry in the straw here.
Your drink doesn't suck. Is that your way
Doesn't.
of saying you like it? Appreciate it, babe.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So does anybody have any good plans for the 4th of July coming up? We used to go over to Laura's parents' house, and they would blow up half the neighborhood with, just thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Probably not that much, but
No, it was definitely over $1,000.
And just hang out in their backyard all day long, having some barbecue and drinking some drinks and visiting with family, and then they light up the sky. And just over the past couple of years, that tradition's kind of gone away. So I think we're going to just have like a small little thing here at the house, maybe grill some burgers and have a little fire on the solo stove. Start a new tradition.
Yeah, sit outside and watch the rest of the town blow things up.
Yeah.
Since we can see plenty of area, we don't have to light things off ourselves to see fireworks.
Randy's got no plans on the 4th, just sipping bourbon. That sounds like a heck of a plan.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what we'll do. We'll just sit around the fire, enjoy ourselves. If we are really feeling crazy, maybe we'll make a s'mores over the fire, but that might be pushing it. That might be too much. We might just be drinking some whiskey and sitting.
Listening to some music. Top Dog's heading to California to visit some friends. Excellent.
Dennis says they have a big get-together at the in-laws barbecue, set off about $3,000 worth of fireworks. That's crazy. But it's probably the amount, since it's been a few years, it probably would cost $3,000 nowadays.
Boy, I tell you what, as a child, I used to absolutely love lighting off fireworks. So we live in Southwest Washington. I have some relatives that are in Northwest Washington, like the Marysville area. There's a big Indian reservation up there, the Tulalip Reservation, and I have some relatives that live on the reservation, and they have this big, giant, like fireworks stand bazaar, I guess it would be an accurate term. They call it Boom City, and there's like 500 fireworks stands in there. And I would go visit them, and we would get like a couple big grocery bags full of stuff, and I would be lighting crap off for like a week straight before the 4th, all day on the 4th, and then like a week straight afterwards. And now every time I hear one of those booms, I think, boy, someone just spent $50 on that.
Now you're just old and grumpy.
Yeah, maybe I'm just
happened.
old and grumpy, but I just, everyone celebrates their own way, and I can't justify it.
You will celebrate by chilling and not doing anything like that. That bourbon dude, cheers. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Donner Pass Whiskey says, where I work on Donner Pass, there's a big illegal fireworks show on New Year's Eve, which is a lot safer with all the snow. Yeah, it makes sense. A few years ago, I saw someone light off some fireworks, and I think it went into an arborvitae. And that thing was like a
big dry tree.
Oh my gosh, that thing just like torched up. It was insane how fast that thing lit. Luckily, it only burnt the tree, and they were able to come put it out before it spread to anything, because it was right next to a house.
We saw it happen and called 911, and they're like, yeah, we've already had 3 calls on it.
We're like, wow, that's good. People are on top of that. But those trees, I'm definitely never going to plant one of those, because that thing, I can't believe how fast that lit up.
No, too far.
You're directing me with your finger.
Well,
here,
I'm trying to. I couldn't see who it was from. Papa Yeezy having High West Double Rye store pick. I tell you what, those High West Double Rye store picks used to be my favorite picks. They would have all the different crazy finishes and stuff. I was so sad that went away, and they replaced it with the Blue Label stuff. I mean, the Blue Label stuff is good too, but it's not like single barrel. It's like large batch stuff.
Yeah. Barrel House, thank you for that. I think it's Bourbon Kitty, right? What's with the name changes? I have no idea why it's showing your handle and not your name, but that's just how it is today, I guess.
We're all struggling together.
Hopefully it'll go back to normal next week, but we have no control over it, so I don't know. Miracle Martinez, cheers. Thanks for being here. And
Did we mention we had a guest?
we have a guest.
Let's bring out Kenny Miller, owner of the Distillery.
Hey, good evening.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're doing good.
We're excellent. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was just over. We've got a new bottle. I'm having to hand label like 600 bottles. I didn't realize I need some help.
Yeah, that's a lot of bottles.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I'm looking forward to this. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you
Yeah.
as well.
Heard a lot of
So
great
apparently you stopped by our house and we weren't home.
Well, I was
Yeah,
home.
sorry
I just
about
didn't
that.
hear
I
the
was playing.
door.
That's
It's
all
just a
right.
surprise.
Well, I was on my way down to Alene, the casino. We were doing the bourbon festival. We do a lot of the events down at Alene. It seems like half the folks visiting that are from like the Portland area also. So, but it's a super nice place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to make it down to one of those sometime. We haven't been to any events at Alene, and it's not very far from us. So
And I could have dropped giving you guys some tickets too. I should have just stuck them in there.
Yeah. So now, do they do that in the parking structure, or is it inside?
Different ones. This one they did it outside. Yeah, they had 5,000 attendees
wow,
Wow.
in 2 days.
that's a
Yeah.
good amount of people.
So, but I had to. So I was in just being a road warrior. We had a festival going on in Spokane at the same time, and so when I was going there, I was just going to set up at the facility. So I drove from Yakima to Vancouver, and then set up, and I had someone else doing the pouring for us, and then turned around and drove to Spokane and did that Saturday, and then drove back Sunday to do the Alene on Sunday. So
Well,
anyway,
that's a lot of
driving.
driving.
That's a lot of miles. Yeah.
I'm from Texas. I guess we're just used to driving a lot.
Okay.
That type
Yeah.
of thing.
So happy that we were able to connect. One of our regular subscribers kind of facilitated this.
Yes,
Um,
Mark.
Yes, Mark
Yeah.
set that up, and we couldn't be happier. We were like, when he reached out, I thought you were going to maybe send a couple samples our way,
Yeah,
and we
I
were
don't even
looking
know.
forward.
Honestly, I don't even remember what I left.
Yeah, we were thrilled to try some samples, and I came home from work one day, y'all, and I've got this box with a note from Kenny. It had five full bottles, 5 full 750 ml bottles, and then two packages of samples that we're going to add to our giveaways tonight. So you guys can all try the Distillery and products as well.
It's called bribery.
So now, how did you get into the distilling game?
Well, I mean, my wife and I, we had some businesses in Texas, and we had sold those off in 2015. And we had some family in the Seattle area. Introduced us some individuals into the spirit, that wanted to start a distillery, and they brought us over to Yakima, and we don't have this stuff in Texas. They just kind of grow everything out there. So we're really intrigued with that. And so we had some partners. We just, started off, and then we just acquired the entire company in 2017. And we've been learning ever since. And so how we started was 280,000 gallons of grapes from Yakima Valley and Columbia Valley were purchased in 2017. So I don't know if you tried the brandy.
Nope, we haven't tried it yet. I think we're
Okay.
going to try
This
it.
is a great segue for us to pour this and drink it
Yeah,
as you
and
talk
so
about
these
it.
are white varietal grapes from Yakima, Columbia Valley, places like in it. We're mimicking the cognacs using Washington grapes. We were like, how does Washington not just own the brandy space? And so we acquired 270,000 gallons, and think of it that like 55 tanker loads of grapes. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Sounds
Yeah.
Lot of
like a
grapes.
lot.
So yeah, it is. It
So that was
generated
the first thing
250
you
barrels.
made then? Was brandy?
Yes, it took us the whole year to distill through that. And so, in fact, it's we're almost at 8 years. This right here is like our I'm looking for a new label for it, but it's right now it's at 7.7 years.
Dang.
I know, exactly. And so we have probably 170 barrels at nothing younger than 5 years. So,
Okay.
so it took us a whole year to distill through that, and then we started on, the whiskeys. And the guy, when we first started, we know that brandy it's a hard category, but people don't think they like it. We get them to try it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you might have changed my mind."
Yeah, I don't know that I've had much brandy. Maybe a couple pours in my life.
Yep.
And I think if I didn't know this was a brandy, I would just think it was a bourbon. It has a lot of those similar notes.
Yep. And it's the grapes versus the grains, and works really well in cocktails. We get into a lot of places in Seattle, down in Vancouver. If y'all go like the Grocery Social, they work with it a lot. Trader Joe's had picked it up, so a lot of people know it from that. But this 7-year stuff's going to be really good. So
Okay.
then we started on the bourbons after that. So what is your thoughts on the brandy?
I'm liking this quite a bit. I agree with Laura. There's a lot of similarities to bourbons. I get the barrel, the char. It's sweet. And for everybody that's watching right now, if I'm guessing a lot of you know, but some of you might not, the difference between like a whiskey and a brandy is whiskey you're distilling a beer, and brandy you're distilling a wine. Is that basically correct?
Yeah, we have to get the grapes direct from the vineyard, because we can't use like wine juice because they add sulfides to it. So if you started distilling that, it would, release sulfur, and it just doesn't create a good product. And so that was the challenge, with that. You have to commit to getting that product straight from the vineyard. And 270,000 is a little bit much. People that come in here that know us, they're like, "Are you guys crazy?"
Maybe.
But it could, turn out, that. But I'm seeing, but it's that's why I ask you, Troy, because there's everyone's palate's just so different, and the people that like grains, higher proof grains, aren't typically like fans of brandy, but it definitely got a spot out there.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people just convince themselves of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would think that it would taste more grapey than it does. And I think that's just getting a lot of the flavor from the barrel, and that's why it tastes a lot like bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So
But it's delicious.
Yeah. So it's a little different. So on the brandy versus like the whiskey, the whiskeys you're trying to extract from the wood flavors. Brandy, you're not really trying to do that. You're trying to keep the flavors, in the profile. And so basically, that's why you do this thing called Solera, which you'll put it in a new oak, French oak, or Hungarian oak versus like American oak, but we'll put it in there new for a couple of years, and then we'll pull it out and put it into a neutral barrel, and it just sits there. In those, in like the 7 year, I can already see, the changes, in the flavor profile. But it's getting over the brandy. The thing I hear all the time, that's what my grandma used to drink. Or, you have to overcome that. So
Yeah, if I saw all these on the shelf, I probably wouldn't pick up the brandy just without trying any of them, because we're not brandy drinkers.
Yeah, as like an uneducated person.
Yeah.
Not
Correct.
ever trying it before. I've probably seen this on the shelf.
We have to basically, it's a product that's got to be hand sold. That's why those events are so, and at the end of the night, everyone starts coming over to our booth because it's really good it almost cleanses your palate. Like if you're at these types of events, and it's like a fresh start. And it's if people try it, they usually, I think we probably hit 25%,
Okay.
So
That's pretty good.
yeah, absolutely.
So one of our viewers is asking if you have any plans to do a malt whiskey.
Man, we've got a lot of stuff going on right now. We probably don't, just because I think the single malts do better aging on the west side versus like central, Washington. That's kind of another good reason, to be here for the whiskeys, the barrel aging. Like Texas is hot all the time, right? And so if you have a rack house there, it's just hot. Here we just, we get the cold and the hot, both of them. So it's a really good, you'll even see Woodinville has their rack house on the side of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now I see all them barrels stacked up behind you.
Yeah.
Are you in a climate controlled warehouse for aging? You just let the weather dictate.
Natural. So we're in 18,000 square feet. The rest, so on this side it's 8,000, and then our restaurants and tasting rooms right across. I mean, it's the same parking lot. It's just open the door, and they're right there. So a lot of people don't realize they come to our restaurant. They're like, here we have good food, and they don't even realize the distillery's, here. So we have to.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Next time we're on the east side, we're gonna have to stop in and
have a meal.
And do some tasting. And do you guys do tours and all that too? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Wednesday, through Saturday, but it's we've got really good bars, tenders, and our chef just won the best won the barbecue cook-off for Yakima County. So we've got a lot of exciting things going, because it's really, to be a craft distillery, to have enough product that you can release 5 and 6 year product is tough. It takes a lot of patience, time, money, and a good wife.
Well, that's good that you have that stuff, because a lot of craft distilleries have to source or go with vodka or moonshine gin to get them to the point to be able to put out 4 5-year-old stuff.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them end up putting out stuff at like 2 years, which hurts them more than it helps them, I believe.
Yeah, if I have a 2-year, I probably wouldn't go back to it later on.
Yeah, I know that is the big challenge, because it's almost like you only have one chance. And that's why, like, I do a lot of the tasting events currently, because, I've gotten pretty good at it, picking out what people like. and I need them to, try more than one product.
Yeah.
And whether I start with the brandy or the rye or the triticale or the bourbon, so
Yeah.
we think
So
we have
just
some decent product.
backing up just about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You said you have some good bartenders at your restaurant. Is
Yeah.
there a signature cocktail using your brandy?
Well, he's, it's like I'm a big fan of the brandy old fashioned. I mean, I've
Okay.
converted tons of people, but he's got his own, because all he does is make cocktails with our eau de vie. Our vodka is basically grape based. Our moonshine's grape based. So he does a lot of different cocktails, and he mixes it up. People just like different, stuff. So we don't necessarily, now if we get over into Seattle, like Toulouse Petite, places like the Dealer Room, places like that, they like to push down beer in the Vauquerie, I forgot how to say it. It's VIEOXCARRE, which is a rye and a brandy.
Oh.
So that's a drink. I'm saying it correct. The bartenders are going to kill me, but it was developed in New Orleans, of course, just like the Sazerac and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
So-
I could always send you some ideas of the cocktails. But he tries a lot of different things. Everyone likes something different.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to try the brandy old fashioned because
it's
I'm an
super.
old fashioned fanatic, and
And then Torp's saying you can't go wrong with elderflower and brandy. So we have that
Absolutely.
Saint Germain
Oh, yeah, yeah.
elderflower,
Yeah.
so we could definitely try that sometime. Or is
No,
it
I just
elderberry?
watched
I don't
all
know.
the-
It's been a decade.
Yeah.
I would guess the elderflower.
and Donner Pass whiskey. Looking at the menu, sounds great. Totally want the candied bacon tiramisu.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a really good cook. I know it's surprisingly, because you typically go to a distillery and the food's average, and so what happened? We had this big complex in 2020. The rules changed, and we were able to get a restaurant permit and sit on top of our DSB. And I went to my wife and I go, should we do this? And so we knew nothing about the restaurant business. And we decided, do that, and that's a whole different, set of challenges. So operating a distillery and a restaurant. And
Andretsky's wondering if there's a casino in Yakima. I would imagine so.
yeah, they have one. They don't sell booze,
Oh, okay.
but no, it's a nice place. It's called Legends, Casino.
Oh yeah.
And
So
yeah.
so Kenny, Miracle Martinez is wanting to know if you have your spirits available in Texas since you came from there.
Yeah, we were with RNDC over there. And so the rules, like each state's a little different. And so there's a group called Specs Liquor. And we thought, being from Houston, my family, we're still there. We know a lot of people. We kind of thought, oh, we'll just be able to walk right into Specs, because they control like 80% of the market instead. And it hadn't worked out that way. But we're just right now, we're kind of like regrouping. We're moving to Southern Glacier.
Okay.
But depending on where she's at in Texas, I could tell her what stores we're in. But yeah, we're in Austin, San Antonio, Houston, but they're really select locations. But we hope to.
So we just poured up the Iron Talon 5-year straight bourbon whiskey small batch. Now this is a brand new, at least a brand new package for this, right?
Yeah. No, it's just we have 6-year product, but this is our 5-year release. We're going to kind of stick with high proof, a high proof version in the skinnier, taller bottles, and then the
Okay.
lower proof. So yeah, really, this is going to be. We're trying to get under $39 on the shelf, $36.99 and it just I see the consumer, they're looking at everything. It's got to be under $39.99. They're just
That's
really
a very good price for a craft whiskey.
yes.
Yeah.
No, it should really move. And then I have, like I was telling you, this Triplexium will be the 6-7 year. It's a triple cask of that. So we have some others coming out, but that'll be kind of our introductory tier.
Okay. So this is solid bourbon.
Yeah. No, I have a lot of confidence in all our products because I do so many tastings in like Texas and Louisiana, big festivals, and if anything, the comments I always could hear, especially for bourbon, they like the weeded bourbons, and they're like, you could probably add a few more years on it. I'm like, how much pain do you want me to go through? It's like I've gone through 5 years of waiting in 6 years. So,
Us bourbon drinkers are picky.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this so a lot of craft whiskeys can have this weird funky grain note to it, but this is fruity, and I definitely like that a lot.
Yeah, so for everybody that's at home watching, it's 92 proof, 5 years old, and you said the price point is $39.
Should be at the 30. Yeah, it should be, hopefully on the shelf at $37.99.
Okay.
Southern Glacier just is placing their first order this week.
Okay.
Coming
and
up.
This is the Iron Talon straight bourbon whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Right now,
5
all
years
you can do
old,
is get it
92 proof.
on our website.
And does your website ship to like a pretty large range of the
42
country?
states. 42 states.
Okay.
It comes out of California. So we got a distributor in California too. So we're just we're trying to get out there, but it's really I'm you kind of look back to your path, and the 5 year is just that much more important. I just kind of feel like it's like getting over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So far, I'm a fan of the brandy and the bourbon.
Me too.
I know I hear it all the time. It's just that I think we do a really good job of, like, people that come through our tasting room, they do our flights, and I'll find something they like as far as spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, even if it's a rye, and I'm like, hey, you don't have to like rye, but this is a good rye. So we're, trying to educate people on what they like.
And then are all the grains from Washington?
I was just going to ask that.
I beat you.
Yeah, absolutely. The rye triticale comes out of the Ritzville area, farmer over there, and then the corn's from the Yakima, county. So yeah, you're 100%. No neutral
That's
grain
awesome.
spirits at all. It's kind of one of those things, people that if we would have known more probably about the business when we got into it, would we have done that? Knowing, cash flow, all that, because you really don't know how good the product's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can predict, but you really don't. And so now that, we're there, we think we have a really good model.
Yeah. So now, how involved in the distillation are you? Are you hands off? Are you involved in it? Because you have a master distiller as well, right?
Yeah. Yes. We had two that were here. We had the main guy, and then Sergio, who's been with us from the beginning. And so, we made so much product. We got, so much inventory, and so now you got to kind of go out, and set, But our formulas have already been set. We know the cuts. We know. We think it's good enough that now we just have a system that we can just stick with, and it's just like the guy asking about single malts. I mean, we have 4 core products. That's a lot, especially when to sell product. They'll only let you. The chains are so important. They'll only let you maybe bring in 2 products. Even if all 4 of them are great. So what are y'all going to next year?
So I was just going to say, I love that sound of the cork pop and this pouring from a fresh bottle. We're going to the Riveter Straight Rye Whiskey.
Okay. I was going to ask you to go ahead. Well, no, that's fine.
You think we should do the Triticale next?
I usually, when I do my tastings, I usually do the rye, go from spicy to sweet. I would do the Triticale because I tell people it's a bridge between a rye and a bourbon. And the reason being, think about that grain. The grain, I heard you guys talk about it earlier. They took wheat and rye, cross-pollinated it. Okay, and the goal was at the time just to find a way to replace rye because rye is so hard to manage, and there's all these, other factors. And when I listen to our Triticale farmer talk about it, it's just amazing, all the science that goes on in the agriculture world. And he brought the seed over originally like in the 60s, I believe, from Sweden, but it was developed in Scotland.
Okay.
And so a lot of the fans of the Triticale, because I repeat kind of what people tell me, you do something 1,000 times, and usually the fans of it are usually fans of maybe a Scotch without the peat, but it's still its own animal, maybe like a Macallan, maybe, or Irish whiskey, or, if someone said, I'm in kind of like Pendleton, an easy sipper, because it's got that wheat and rye, complex. And everyone has a different hit on it. People will tell me either it's a little smoky, and I'm like, well, or not.
There's nothing smoky in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I've seen a couple different Triticale whiskeys, and they all seem to be from Washington. I mean, there might
some from Oregon.
There might
too.
be more.
You're
but
right,
is Triticale like exclusively grown around here?
No, and so here's what I'm kind of finding out is because I was telling you I do these festivals, they're called whiskey rides in Texas and Louisiana and stuff like that. The big guys are coming over to us, and taste it because it's a novel grain, and it was developed 200 years ago, but it needs to grow in colder, drier climates like Eastern Washington. It's like Eastern Washington, I think, grows like 40% of the wheat. Right. People either love it or, they're on that the other spectrum. But no, it hits a lot of palates.
I can see where people think that it's got some smokiness in it because it starts out fruity and then it goes more to a savory type note later on. And I think maybe people are thinking that's smoky. But I just get that out of rye type thing. So it reminds me of a lot of a rye.
Now, we didn't show this bottle, y'all. This is Techno, and this is 91 proof. I love the bird that you have on all of these with, like, different... Is it the same on all
That's
of them?
fine.
Different colors.
Different colors.
Yeah. That was my wife working with the design team out in Portland. I don't have any creativity, so.
Okay. And the mash bill on this, is it 100% Triticale? Did you say that already?
95% Triticale. So you'll see some of the Triticales out there. They're like mash bills. This is the grains doing all the work. It's profiling the grains. It's the same thing as the brandy, like Trader Joe's picked our 3-year up. That along with that in the American brandy, but I would like, I knew no one knows what they are. they don't know they like them, so it has to be hand sold.
Yeah.
So we have
Now-
to
now-
lead the charge.
Here's the consumer in me coming out.
Yeah.
I love what you guys have done with this series. All 3 bottles are shaped the same. They basically have the same image with different colors, and they're all named something different. They're all 5-year. It's crazy how many distillers we come across, and we're a small channel in the grand scheme of things on YouTube, but how many distillers we come across where their products all sound the same.
They're very confusing. Where
Their
yours
labels all
are not
look
confusing.
identical, and you got to like look at the fine print to see what you're drinking. As a consumer, that's kind of a turnoff when you can't find what you're looking for without reading fine print. So this is perfect. I mean, they're all designed to be on the shelf side by side, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
different
after
colors,
7
so it
years, you
makes it
get
more obvious.
smart. You get smarter, put it that way.
Yeah, and Dretzky, it's 5 years. So
Yeah.
all 3 of these that we're drinking right now are 5 years old, and then we have another one that's different. But the bourbon, the triticale, and then the rye are all 5-year-old, and they are all 90 proof.
No.
Or
So the
No,
Triticale is
they're-
91, the bourbon was 92, and the rye is 90.
okay.
And so you would, there's things you find. Remember, I didn't come from this industry, and it just seemed like, I think the mark is right around 92 proof. If it's below 92 proof, you're probably going to have to do some sort of filtration, cold filtration, because you might get like little floaters or dust, in there. And
So
we don't
actually,
want that.
Actually, the bourbon that we have has a lot of floaters, and so we were worried. But we know, because we're bourbon drinkers, that that's
Correct.
fine, because it adds extra flavor. We're happy that it doesn't have the filtration in it. But we were worried at first that maybe it was like
Right.
a tainted bottle or something. But we tried
And
it.
you may have
and
got
it's not.
You may have gotten one of our like really, additional, first bottles, because this is everything's, new.
Yeah, this Triticale has like an apple juice note on it that I'm really liking a lot. I can see myself drinking this bottle pretty often.
Yeah, I think so as well.
You-
As
yeah.
as people that say that tell you higher age and higher proof, I mean, I think the age is fine, but I probably would want higher proof. But right now, I'm very happy with this lower proof. So
Oh yeah, and is this coming in at the same price point as the bourbon, like that $39?
Yeah. Well, since you said that, I guess I've got more of a sales background, and I want to like solve everything. So this right here is our Cask Series Triticale. It's 4-year, and it
Okay.
won double platinum at the Fred Minnick Ascot Awards last year. And
Okay.
it's
Okay.
116 proof. So I got you covered. It's just and price point should be about the same. And so this is kind of like our other bottle. A lot of people know these guys, but this doesn't necessarily, not everyone likes the high proof.
yeah, no, I often drink lower proof, so I am happy with this. It's got a lot of flavor for the proof point.
Yeah, so Rob Franklin asked if these will make it to Ohio. He said they ship to 42 states, Rob. So
Yeah.
you'll just have to check their website and see.
Yeah, I think
if
it's
you-
$39.99 plus the shipping and taxes. It ships out
Okay.
of California or Texas, whichever one's easier. It's in a nice package. We did have a deal where we were doing, if you bought 2 bottles, you got free shipping. But the way taxes are up in the Pacific Northwest, we're going, let's try to lower the price, and that's what we did. We lowered the price. So
Yeah, I think that's a very smart way to sell more, because so many craft whiskeys are expensive, and I think people are afraid to try them because they're
Yeah.
too expensive. But
Well, I kind of
It's
see the
obviously-
same thing in Texas. Like the taxes are like 8.25 on liquor, versus like Washington, like 48. It's like
Yeah, I
crazy.
know.
Yeah, our I tell people all the time what our liquor taxes are, and then the liter tax on top of that, and
Yeah,
it's insane.
it is, and they keep going after it. That and the hospitality. So we have both of them. So,
Oh yeah.
but y'all grow everything up here.
Yep.
So we talked about the brandy. We have an apple brandy that's just hitting 6 years. Also, I don't even know what to do with that at this point. So, anyways.
So, what? So an apple brandy, is that apples instead of grapes, or does it have both?
It would just be apples
Oh, okay.
from Yakima.
Yeah, I just don't know much
It's
about brandy.
it's same deal. It's like you can have it, but now you got to go sell it. And we could do it, in our tasting room, but getting it on the shelves would
Yeah.
be difficult.
Brandy's definitely not popular. It's not one
We're
of
gonna
those
make
things
it. We're
that
gonna
people
make
are
it
chasing.
popular. We're gonna make
Maybe
it popular.
you might.
You gotta,
Everyone will
hopefully
wish
you guys
that
can
they.
help us.
I'm going to send out some samples of this brandy when I send out this. I'm going to send it out. It's going to be a 5 sample package that they'll win, and there'll be 2 of those
Okay.
going out.
Very cool.
Yeah, that triticale is good. I have to try the cask strength one now.
Yeah, I think we'll have to.
So,
but
so this
yeah.
is the 4-year, and we have 6-year version of it. And now we're cleaning up this label, making revisions, and hopefully we have that ready to go in 3 months or so. We have the product.
Okay.
Lip Service Crew says the drink of presidents, probably for brandy. I think that means old people, right?
Yeah.
Old
Well, we're gonna
established people.
Yeah.
Banana brandy. I
Yeah,
didn't even
Dennis
know that
Trish
was a
is
thing.
asking if you've ever thought of doing a banana brandy.
It would probably just wouldn't be. You could do it. Probably just wouldn't be. Economical out. In bananas.
We don't grow bananas
Yeah, there's no
here.
locally sourced bananas in
That's why
Washington State.
Yeah. I mean, me being from Houston, I was like, man, we could bring some. We know a lot of my wife, agave people, that we could get it up here, but we can call it tequila, and that's
Oh,
Yeah.
And so you'd have to call it
Agave
agave
spirit.
spirits, which is not going to fly.
Yeah, I've seen some of those on this at the store, and it just doesn't sound the same to have the agave spirit next to the tequila. It's just, I mean, it probably tastes similar, but it just doesn't
yeah. And
sound the same.
Donner Pass in France, apple and or pear brandy is called Calvados. Don't know if using that name would help marketing to hipsters.
We couldn't use it, just like we couldn't use cognac. That's a regional thing, like champagne.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
That's basically what we're talking about: tequila and agave.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
we actually, So.
Because brandy is the base name for all of those things. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
It's the grapes. Yeah.
Lip service.
Even our
crew wants to
vodka is
know-
a grape base vodka. Our
I don't
moonshine
know that I've had a grape based vodka.
is phenomenal.
I don't think so.
It's really good, but
Yeah.
it's too expensive a product when bottles, liters are being sold for $12. Grapes are expensive. It's just
Lip service crew wants to know if you do a sour mash.
we do not.
Okay, so everything's new, fresh
yeast.
fresh yeast for your. Okay, well,
That's kind of, if I was to go back, people will go, because when we first so we're a rye forward bourbon. I probably didn't bring that out when you, brought that up versus a wheated bourbon. And so if I'm typically doing tasting, if someone's not really like, oh, I love your, bourbon or whatever, I kind of feel like they're on that sweeter wheated bourbon, which I have no problem with. It's just, it's a different palate. And so that would have been the one that if we could look back 7 years, but it wasn't that popular 7 years ago, it seemed like. The wheated bourbons, that would have been the one that I would like to add to the portfolio.
That would be the only thing really to add, but I mean, we don't.
Yeah,
For us,
man.
we don't drink a lot of the weeded bourbons, so we're not
Yeah,
mixing
that's
it.
kind of it. We think it works better in cocktails, even the old fashions, that rye. Otherwise, it's all sweet. We're just doing a deal on our bourbon with Salish Lodge, where they own. Y'all know who Salish Lodge is? They're
Oh
it's
yeah,
a
Oh, yeah.
we play golf there. We love that place.
Yeah.
okay. The Snoqualmie, yeah.
no.
So no, that's the Falls. I'm talking the Snoqualmie
Oh.
Yeah.
Falls. There's a hotel
Oh,
there.
Okay.
And,
I think
and
we've-
so basically they own an apiary, which is the honey. And so we sent them barrels over there. They filled it up with honey, and we've brought it back here, and we're going to put 6-year bourbon into it and, do a label
Okay.
for them. So we'll kind of get into creative stuff like that. But you can do that stuff once you start getting that 5 and 6 year, type
Yeah,
mark.
that
It gets a little
that
funner.
sounds interesting. Yeah, this Dennis is saying he has a friend that goes to stores, asks to buy bananas that are taken off the shelves because they're too old, and uses them for small brandy batches, and it tastes like banana bread.
I
I didn't
believe it.
know that was even a thing. Didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah,
So
I
thanks
believe
for
it.
sharing, Dennis.
yeah.
I think we're going
Yeah,
to now
I,
go to
I
the
think
rye.
we're getting ready to start on the Riveter rye. This is also 5 years.
Should we do our first gift?
Did I leave? Did I give? Did I leave the higher proof rye with you guys?
Yes.
You did.
Yep.
We'll do that
All
one
right.
next.
Okay.
So this one is 95% Washington rye, 5% malted barley. It's 5 years old, non-chill filtered, 90 proof. Checks all the boxes. Laura wants to know if it's time to do a giveaway. What do y'all think in the chat? We got 42 entries. There's 61 of you watching. If you want free whiskey, enter hashtag Triticale.
And this is just this giveaway is for our stuff. So 4 random samples from us. We'll do the Distillarium one with our super chat one. So we'll do 3 giveaways for that. But this one's free and it's just our stuff. So I will add it to the stage. We will spin the wheel. ASMR whiskey getting in at the last second here. And
This is the one you have to be present to win.
have to be present to win. I'm spinning so we can
Kind of our reward to you for hanging
Get
out
going.
with us and watching our shenanigans.
Top Dog,
Top
are you
Dog.
still here? Rob Franklin's like, yes, please, spin the wheel. Let's do this. Let's see.
I know Top Dog comes in early. I don't know if he hangs out the whole time. He's kind of a multitasker.
We'll give him a minute. We'll give him.
So most people mispronounce the triticale, and you guys have been saying it properly.
So we heard about it for the first time. Our friend Mark, Northwest Bourbon YouTube
okay,
channel,
yeah,
he
yeah.
had you guys on, and we heard about it, and some of our fans are fans of his as well, and have bought the bottle and talked about it. So that's where we've heard it before.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think Top Dog
Yeah.
is here.
We're gonna give Top Dog like
Oh, no.
we're gonna give Top Dog like 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna spin it again. So Kenny, I've been sipping on this Riveter rye. It's a sweet rye. I kind of dig this. I'm a rye fan in general.
I was going to ask you that before. Usually, I ask people before they go try a rye if they're actually rye fans.
Yeah, and a lot of times on craft rye, I get either dill or spearmint, and I'm getting neither of those on this. So well done. This is
Yeah, I'm not getting any.
my
of that.
hat is off to you on this rye.
It's more of a spicy.
It's
Sweet at the
and
beginning
spicy. Yeah,
and spicy
it's
later
peppery.
on. Yeah, but no mint, no dill.
No mint. Yeah.
Um,
All right, we're gonna spin the wheel again.
yeah. Okay, hopefully it's someone that's here.
Miss Lori J.
I didn't even see her name earlier.
She Venmo'd earlier.
Well, hello. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, there were a couple Venmos that I didn't call out because we started the interview, but we do have you guys down.
Let's see if she's
We got
here.
Miss Lori J, Christian Mojica, and Rob Franklin, Jeremy Dirks, and C.A. Scotty on the Venmo.
She is here, so...
All right, we got you down, Lori. And we're going to do hashtag Distillarium for the next giveaway. Laura's going to put that on the screen.
Too.
So how did you come up with that name?
It was more why she was like the firm. Once I mentioned we took over the company, we decided to change the name and we wanted to be known for aged products. We just started reviewing a lot of different names and some different proposals kind of kept coming at us. And it's hard to find a name that's not trademark. I mean, and we didn't want like the regular River Ridge or River Creek, Snake Mount, all that stuff. And then when someone helped us with that name, my wife seemed to like it and our team seemed to like it. And then we went out and started canvassing like bartenders and people were like, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I remember it for some reason, and so it kind of tells what we do. I know it's hard to say, but we get a lot of really good reviews on it. People like it. So,
yeah, it kind of brings like images of like mad scientist, distiller,
mm-hmm.
And then like the triticale kind of fits that bill. So I think you guys hit it out of the park on the name. And I like this rye.
Yeah.
I've drank it all almost.
I do too. It's I would say that both of us lean more to rye whiskeys a lot of times, because there's just more excitement with it. I guess it's less sweet, more spicy and exciting, but this one kind of I feel like could go either way. I feel like bourbon drinkers would probably like it because it doesn't have that mint and dill.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little more spicy. So it's kind of, you get the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, I feel like this is one that if you had a friend that was whiskey curious and you were trying to share some stuff with them to let them know what it was all about, this would be a rye that I would give them to introduce them to rye.
Yeah, so another grain we get out of Eastern Washington, and as you say that, I was the Casper series, which is a no man's whiskey that you have there, won the Fred Minnick Ascot Award for best craft rye in the U.S. last year.
That's a pretty good accolade.
It is, and what we didn't know, we just submitted it. And, we were really kind of surprised because, it is a blind tasting. A lot of that stuff's kind of pay to play, type thing.
Great cork
but
pop.
that's why I know our rye's good because I do all these festivals and especially a rye, 116 proof rye that's actually a Washington rye because it seems like most of the ryes are coming out of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
The grain. So this is truly a Washington. You want a Washington rye, or this is 100%.
Yeah. So let me show that. Let's see if I can get closer to the camera here. Turn it the right way. So No Man's Whiskey. So it's got a Z, and it's cask strength rye whiskey, 4 years old, 116 proof, non-chill filter. It looks like what you'd expect on a store shelf there with the horse.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was telling you. It's like the other one. So you got to kind of hit both. You got to hit the high proofers and the easy sippers.
Yeah, taller, skinnier bottle, so you know that this is a different series than the first three that we drank.
And so we'll be releasing this probably in like 3 months. It'll be modified. Label will be horse, but it'll be a 6 year, 100,
Okay.
you know, we'll kind of mix the proofs up. But,
Okay.
it's like, and I always start with the rye, and I tell people, like in our tasting room, I'm like, look, you don't have to like rye that burn you get. A lot of people don't like that, and that's not, they get that confused with being hot, and that's not that. It's just kind of the grain. And so,
Yeah.
but people that, when they come up to a tasting and they're like, oh, I got to try the rye. Yeah, I know I got them hooked, because I know a rye's, good product, but not everyone likes rye. And so that's why I start with the rye. From there,
Yeah.
I can determine whether they're on that brandy, on the sweeter side. And so we go from spicy to sweet.
So Dennis just commented he knows when I do a fresh pop, I always give you the neck pour. I'm just being polite and giving the lady the first pour.
Yeah, we don't believe in the first pour being any different than the second pour.
So if you notice, before I popped it, I turned it upside down. So the neck pour went to the bottom, and I gave Laura the ass pour.
So some people, some people definitely care about the first pour and don't think that it's as good as the rest. But we obviously don't have a feeling about that.
If this gets better than this with air or time or whatever people say, I can't wait, because this is fantastic.
So
Yeah.
I notice a big difference in the nose and the palate on this higher proof one. It has almost like I'm trying to think of the candy. It's like a sweet tart or some kind of fruity candy note on the nose
definitely
that I
has
did
a
not
candy
get on
note.
the other
Legs
one.
for days, y'all. This is great whiskey. How did you come up with the name Whiskey? No Man's Whiskey.
Well, it was actually that's an actual. It's called a reining horse.
Okay.
If y'all watch like Yellowstone, those types of horses, they're like work horses, and the owners are out of Ellensburg, and they originally, when I was in a store, we discussed a possible label. And once we went to Texas and Louisiana, the stores down there, I started calling on all the stores, and they were like, I was kind of peddling like 84, 86, 88 proof. And they were like, dude, you need to go back to the well, because if it ain't 100 proof, we don't want it. And so we'd hit the 4 year. And so we were, rushing to come up with a label to get product, 100 proof, product down there. And so that was just, you got to kind of pick an idea and go with it, and so we kind of went with that horses sell.
They do. So sometimes when we see it in the store, it worries us if we've never heard the brand, because we know that horses sell. So we don't know if it's good because there's a horse on it, or if it's just trying to, get you to buy it because there's a horse on it. But this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, the cask and spin and the cask and slide, these are moves that those reining horses do. So that's how those names come up. They'll do a spin. I don't know if y'all watch these types of horses.
We don't know a whole lot about horses.
I mean, we watched Yellowstone.
They're very
so-
expensive. What's that?
Yeah.
I said we watched Yellowstone. So
Yeah.
that's what Taylor Sheridan's doing when he's spinning that horse around.
Yes, that's the spin.
Okay.
And then when they're
Okay.
backing up, you'll see them slide. That's when they put their butt down on the bottom. That's,
Okay.
yeah.
Look at that. We learned something. It's
Yeah.
about horses.
I love it.
Yeah, the horse actually has a lot of followers on Facebook and stuff.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that was a thing either, that horses had their
Oh,
own
yeah.
Facebooks and stuff. I am out of the out of touch with that world, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to get into it now. It's
Yeah.
a rabbit hole I'm gonna dive into.
So like, yeah, so we'll be changing that label, and this all we'll have is 5 and 6 year, no more 4 year and 3 year,
Okay.
product.
So now, one of the big exciting things that a lot of these whiskey tube channels do, to kind of share good whiskeys with their subscribers and followers, is single barrel picks. Does Distillarium do single barrel picks?
Absolutely. So we've
Oh,
already,
you didn't tell us, how much is this 4-year cask strength?
$46.99. That's why it's like,
Oh
we
my
could,
God.
That's a great
yeah, that's what I'm
price.
saying. We can compete against Angel's Envy all day, It's, and that's why I do these festivals down there. We want to move some product, and you got to get it out there. Washington's, it's difficult because of the taxes. Everyone's got a certain price point. If we get people to try it, that's why I was saying we can usually find something. So example, Troy and Laura, what's your favorite right now?
Right now, I would say my favorite is the No Man's Whiskey, followed by the Techno.
Which is the triticale
And
for people that didn't know
and you
that.
don't have the cast series on you,
Yeah,
so
but
that would
I would agree.
If that Triticale gets better with cask strength, I'm
sure it
I'm
does.
all in on that.
Yeah. Have enjoyed all of them. It has gotten better. Each one, I feel like, that we drank, we've enjoyed more. It got spicier and more interesting and then higher proof. But I was probably the most surprised with the brandy, because I did not think that I would like brandy, and I think it's good.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a spot for it, especially like it's kind of, to me, it's like if you've had a few different whiskeys and you throw that brandy in there, and it's like a curveball, and you're like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's just, your palate's opened and it's just different. It's kind of nice. Well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I'm
Northwest
just-
Bourbon's in chat.
Oh yeah, Mark's here.
So
Hey, Mark.
So Mark was definitely excited to watch this, since he had, I don't remember who he had on,
He had Austin, I believe.
yes, yeah.
and so he didn't have you on. So he wanted to hear what you had to say, since he had other people
Yeah,
on.
well, it's always the fears. Like I was just telling Mark, our guy here in Yakima, is like, hopefully someone doesn't get, where do you do your cuts? And, some of the, technical stuff. I'm like, I have to pull out the books and,
Yeah,
and
we
then-
don't need to know that. that's your job. We just need to know that it's good whiskey.
Yeah. And so, but the same distiller that, Austin was training's been here the whole time. So, it's, I think we have 4, solid core products, and, it gets seems to get a little funner once you start getting into, the 5 and 6 type categories. But I wanted to share this, I don't know, this right here. I mean, this is just going to be coming out. It's called Triplexium.
Okay, I'm glad you said it, because I would have pronounced it wrong. I would have said
No, I'm just making everyone go back to school. And
I would have been like triple
I don't
Zium.
know. So it's another style in the same
Triplexium.
bottle. So the concept was, okay, we had this brandy. We used French oak and Hungarian oak to age that in. So we took our 5-year straight bourbon. So it says 5.2 years. So then we took that out, which is risky. Put it in French oak and Hungarian oak for 8 months. Right there. And then we put it back in an American oak. So it's triple cast now. And that went 7 months. And I can just tell you, I've always thought our bourbon was good, but I wasn't like, if you're going to make something, you want it to be really good, right? And I think we might have hit it with this. Really excited about that, and we're just bottling it up, So it's hopefully it's something different, and price point. It should be a good price point. So you got to it's got to be nichey too, that type of thing. So
Yeah. Now, is that one going to be on your website, or is it?
It's like I'm hand numbering these right now. So
Okay.
we're bottling Monday.
He's got 600. Remember, he said he's got to label all of those.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is, it's like there's 5 different things, and I've got to like really concentrate. Yes, so, but we think it's hopefully. And I haven't really had any other people besides myself, because we just barreled it last week, so I haven't had anyone else try it. So I'm just going on my own palate. I was like, oh my god, this stuff's going to be good. So it's 104.
That's very exciting. That's very new. 104.
Yeah, it's 104 proof. Yeah, all our stuff is the other products that you guys they've only been out for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So we've been sitting on the sidelines for some reasons, more distribution related. You don't want to pull it out of the barrel till you got it ready to, because things move really slow in the, distribution world and the chain business. So anyways.
Yeah, that is exciting that all these are new, and they taste great. So I'm hoping that you will be successful in selling them and getting them to new places.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any help anyone can do to help us, please do. It's kind of what I see different from like Texas and Louisiana, just because of the size and the population. It's a lot easier to build brand ambassadors that are talking about your product. It just is. Example like Yakima is, we're here, they grow everything, but it's still kind of beer and wine country. Because all the hops.
Washington is the third.
Last I checked, it was number 3.
Number 3 in distilleries in the state, which is crazy that there's that many distilleries. So it's definitely hard to get a name out for a distillery here, because there's so many.
Yeah. Now, I've seen lots of people in the chat tonight ask about shipping to different places. Guys, I would just encourage you to check their website, Distillarium website. I've seen lots of people link it in the chat. Hopefully, Kenny, you guys get a little surge in sales from this.
There's been
we appreciate it.
Probably 4 people that have said that we should do a pick with them as well. So maybe we'll have to plan a trip.
Yeah, I mentioned that for a
reason.
reason. We are part of a barrel picking club, and we're always looking to do new picks. And I feel like this No Man's Whiskey at the cask strength one, and I would love to try your cask strength Triticale. I think those are both ones that would be really popular with the people that buy the picks that we do.
Right.
Yeah. Torb
and that's just really how we are. It's our products. The Triticale is very unique. The brandy's unique, and it's just we have to get people out to try it. In Yakima we get. I think we've got probably 30 different people just come in from Seattle just because they've known our products and bought it, but it's just not a densely populated area. But anyways,
so let's see, we had Torup said he just bought 2 bottles.
Awesome.
Said the shipping is a good price, only $18 to ship 2 bottles, so that's
I gotta tell you a
good
story.
price.
It's cheaper from those guys to ship from Texas and California than it is from me to ship a bottle from Yakima to Seattle.
That's insane.
It is insane, huh? You know, and so these are replenishment centers, and so we have one there in California, one in Texas, and they package it in a nice, package, and they're very very efficient. So,
Good.
and we,
And
we
then
have
we
some
also,
modifications. We're still working on our because we have so many new products. Our websites. There's little tweaks, here and there that we got to update, and stuff like that. But it's really when you're small like us and you're launching all these products. There's all these connected things that have to happen, which it's a very complicated industry.
I imagine that it is.
Yeah.
So someone just asked us what we think would make them stand out from current things on the shelves. So for me, I would say that for it being a craft whiskey, it does not have the craft notes that I normally get. Normally, like, I'd take a sip of a craft whiskey and I'm like, okay, this is a craft whiskey. I still like it, but it is very grain forward, and I don't feel like this tastes like young grain. It has a lot of more sweet, fruity, bright notes that you don't always get out of that kind of a thing. And the price sounds really good.
And for me, I echo what Laura just said on the flavor of the whiskey. These are all solid whiskeys. Now, when we're talking craft whiskey, there's usually a premium price tag on the craft whiskey because they got to keep the lights on, guys. We support local, we support craft. We understand that they typically charge a little bit more because they don't have the volume that the legacy distillers out of Kentucky are dealing with. So just as a rule, they got to charge a little bit more. I kind of hesitate to purchase a craft whiskey at $39 because it's going to be younger, like 2 years old. It's going to be very grain forward, and they're just trying to push a product out to keep the lights on. These at $39 are a steal. This 5-year-old whiskey is good. And I'm not just saying because Kenny's on here. You guys know we give honest reviews. This stuff is solid whiskey. It's very good priced.
Yeah, I am shocked at the prices. Because normally that's the thing that we're like, oh, we like it, but I wouldn't pay that much money for it. And these are great prices, so
You're
we'll
talking
definitely
like
be buying some.
normally like $60 to $80 from a craft distiller for whiskey like this.
Well, we want to, the goal, we want to get into, the chains. I mean, you just have to in the state, and that's really kind of our formula. People are just looking at price. I'm out there. I see it. They're super concerned about price.
And I think that's just a product of today's economy.
Yes.
People, and we're talking with a lot of people in the chat that are seasoned whiskey drinkers. They know what they like.
Yeah.
They're not out experimenting, buying 30 different bottles a month.
Right.
They're buying their standard go-tos that are tried and true. And I feel like these could easily be some of y'all's go-tos. These are that good, and they're priced great. I see Whiskey Wisdom just bought 2. That's excellent. Douglas Papa, can we repeat what our favorites were? Okay, so for me, my favorite was the cask strength rye, the No Man's Whiskey. Second was the Triticale, then the Riveter Rye, and then the Iron Talon Bourbon.
Yes, but we only had the cask strength of the rye. I'm guessing that we probably would love the Triticale one. Northwest Bourbon saying that one's great. I think that's the one that we heard other people bought before and said that they loved. So we definitely have to go buy a bottle of that because I imagine that it would be one of our favorites.
So
Torp says, get samples out to people. I will sample some of these out as well.
this one would have moved really well in Washington, but we couldn't get RNDC to pick it up because they were going with all these different changes, and so we couldn't really get any. And it's you do these festivals and people want it. Like, I mean, I think at the Alene, we went through this is what everyone wanted. Where can I buy it? Well, there's nowhere to buy it. It's not even in the state.
That's too bad.
I know. It's like, it was brutal, from that standpoint. That's why I say we're sitting on the sideline. But it'll be like 3 months, and this will be the 4-year will be, it'll be a 6-year. I'm probably going to, this is 116. I'm probably going to go down on the proof a little bit on this one, on the triticale, because I thought it had a little bite. But it just, like, if you added a little water, it just really opened up. But as soon as I tell people that, they would say, oh, no, that's exactly how I like it. I'm like,
exactly. Yeah. Everyone's like, no, don't add water.
Yeah, exactly. So, but for me, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Bourbon Baller Lee's in the chat. He runs probably the number one, at least QFC liquor store in the state, and probably in the top 2 or 3 just straight across liquor stores. He's wanting to know what part of Southern is distributing.
They're doing the first purchase order next week. It'll be the Northwest, but I've called on. He said QFC.
Yeah,
Renton QFC is where he's at.
Yeah, I've been pounding on him for a long time, but so hopefully the news. I don't know. I haven't met the chain folks for Southern, Glacier yet, and so I mean, our first purchase order, like I said, will be next week, and
yeah,
but it'll still take a couple of weeks, so
yeah, Lee, these
they
square
call it
bottles
yeah
are great, and the cask strength are phenomenal. Kenny, I got another question for you, kind of back to like the products themselves. How many barrels are you typically blending into a batch?
2 max, probably. So just like this one here that we're doing, the Triplexium, we use two barrels.
Okay. So
I'm
it's
trying,
like
I'm
a
trying
true
to
It's a
say
small
very
batch.
small batch. Okay.
Yeah, no, I could do small batch on everything, but I just don't want to lose. The only reason I don't want to lose the age statement.
There we go.
We're
Northwest
so
Bourbon said he'd do a
close.
cast strength triticale pick with us.
I'm telling you, we got
We've-
to set something up.
We've
That
got
sounds like-
sheer triticale. I have no idea what it's going to taste like. I haven't opened it. I haven't tried it. I don't even want to know. It's kind of like we just got to deal with what's in front of us right now, type thing. And so we've got a real good, since we have the tasting room and restaurant, we can get to try. We do so many, and the truth is, if people didn't like your product, they tell you, they wouldn't come back. And so, people are nice, but doesn't mean they're going to come back.
Yeah.
So they work good in cocktails at that price. It's getting to the point to where it's so the hardest parts now coming up. Like I told you the brandy. Did I tell you about the brandy? So this is 7.7 years, and we're going to do it at 91 proof. And so that perfumey bottle looking that we have right there, those bottles are really expensive, but the bartenders don't like the bottle because it doesn't fit, in the well. It's kind of hard to, so we're going to have to move to something like that. So we have to, so we're going to do an 8-year brandy. And
Okay.
So anyways, before I break something.
But
hopefully
it is always easier to pour out of a tall, skinny bottle than a weird short, fat bottle.
Yeah, and I'm like thinking of just our shelf space at home. You know, we've probably got
I don't know, a lot.
a few hundred bottles,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, finding spot on a shelf for an odd bottle is always a challenge. I do like that it's short because we've got some short shelves that this will fit on too that other bottles won't.
But the thing is that top, like if you're doing cocktails, the the mouth is wider than a typical, and so you have to have and so these are just things for a novice like me that knew nothing. We've just every day. It's been 7.5 years of just constant learning, education, crazy. So we're always trying to pivot, and that's just we're a family of entrepreneurs, and that's just what you do. You just keep moving forward.
Oh, that's a great thing. I am happy that you created this brand because these are fantastic. We've heard of you guys for a while. We just have planned that eventually we'll make it out to Yakima, and that's when we were going to try your stuff and then decide what or if we wanted to buy anything. And now that we've tried some, we probably should have bought something before.
I feel like we're going to be making a trip to Yakima soon, just to come visit you and try that candied bacon tiramisu.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like
gotta have some of that.
It's kind of like me. It's like I'll be like festivals. I think I'm doing a Gig Harbor, festival. I'm doing, and it's just we have to get people out to try it. They have to try it, and so that's kind of what I'm doing, right now.
Yeah.
So, anyways, well, I think I appreciate it.
Yeah, Kenny, it's been great. Very generous with your time tonight. Thank you so much for all these samples and a chance for us to share these with our subscribers. And I think there's been enough buzz in the chat that I'm going to be hitting you up and trying to set up some kind of a barrel pick.
Very awesome. And everyone that ordered, bottles from us, we really appreciate it. And, it's awesome. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much. It's been great. Safe travels to you. And when we make it over to Yakima, hopefully we can meet up and you're not on the road.
Okay. And I got to put a shout out to Mark for setting this up too.
Yeah. Mark, thank you so much for setting this up. This is great.
He's probably getting a few free cocktails for that.
There you go.
Okay. All right, guys.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Take
Good night.
care, Kenny.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So
we got 70 people watching, 49 entries, y'all. If you want some free whiskey, type in #Distillarium. And how great was Kenny? He gave up a couple hours on his Saturday night to come hang out with us. These whiskeys, I'm shocked.
So I'm always a little nervous with craft whiskeys. So
Especially cheap craft whiskey.
Well, I didn't know what the prices were, so I didn't have that in my mind.
Yeah, he had texted me the prices.
Oh, you didn't share that.
No, because I didn't want to freak you out.
So, like the last few we've done, we drank through them and we're like, yeah, it's okay, but it's too much money. And then we got to like their most expensive one. We're like, yeah, this is good, but it's still too much money. This one, I feel like the prices are legit. I would not be upset about paying the price that any of these bottles are marked at. And I definitely want to get one of those cask strength triticale ones.
Yes.
So we went through all of them and we drank all of them, but then I had to go back and I have the triticale in my glass because it's just so interesting. Yes, old-fashioned ways. That's what's actually in our glass right now is that Techno Triticale 91
Yeah, we
proof.
re-poured that one.
It has so much flavor for it only being 91 proof. And it's like really fruity and sweet up front. And then it gets like that spicy, savory towards the back end, and it's very interesting and good, and I'm enjoying it. Let's see. What is it? Grave Shot TX says the only other good craft whiskey with prices like Distillerium is Lost State Distilling in Tennessee. Nice find. And maybe we'll have to check them out, because I don't think we've had anything from Lost State before.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting reading the chat, guys, and thank you so much for joining us tonight and being so active in the chat. For some reason, YouTube has changed how your names are displayed tonight. So I don't know if some of you are brand new or if some of you have been here, 100 times.
My Whiskey 101 looks new. I don't think I've seen that name. But I'm looking at your icons, and I'm like, okay, I know that one. Like Prof. Rusty. I recognize his picture.
I saw Bourbon Hall earlier. I recognized. There's been a few I've recognized, but there's definitely some names that I don't recognize. So
I think this could be Joe B. I'm looking at the icon, the little picture there, and I'm like, I don't know that name, but I recognize the picture. So maybe it could be not Joe B, but maybe it is. Roscoe P. Coltrane, cheers. Thanks for being here. Yes, I hope that by next week they fix whatever's going on where they're showing us people's handles and not their name, because this is frustrating for me. But yeah, so we will give away 3 giveaways for Super Chats tonight. When we get to that, it'll be, the first one will be I don't even remember. I gotta pull up the picture. First one will be the Veterans Picks, which will be a 13th Colony, and then 3 Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Ryes, but they're all different ones. 2 are...
Top Dog, you're back.
Oh, no. So anyway, that'll be that. But then the second and third drawing from that wheel will be Distillerium stuff. So we'll give away all 5 samples of what we drank tonight to 2 people. And that way we'll be able to share what we have. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah, and Charles, I got your Venmo. Thanks so much. We got you in. Shaman, I got yours. JL, I got yours. And Whiskey Wisdom, I got yours.
Canadian Chris, yep, it still says Canadian Chris. So perfect. We know it's you. It's just weird.
Yeah, Top Dog, you had won one of our free giveaways, but it was you have to be present to claim it. We gave you a couple minutes and had to move on. I'm really sorry, but I'll tell you what. I'm gonna write it down with my Top Dog Bourbon laser engraved pen in my Baker Drinks laser engraved folder from Top Dog, and I'm going to send you a box of samples anyways, just because you came back, buddy.
You gonna give him this stuff?
I'm going to give him one of the free samples.
Okay, I didn't know if it was going to be this or
if you, Top Dog, if you want the Distillerium flight, I'll send that to you. Just say the word.
Yeah, Jeremy Dirks, you are still Jeremy Dirks, but you got some numbers. 9215.
9215.
Yeah.
Jeremy Dirks 90210.
I don't think it's Apple versus Android. I think it's YouTube, or maybe it's StreamYard. Maybe StreamYard screwed it all up.
Yeah, Raging Cajun, I got your Venmo, and Joe B, I got your Venmo.
Yes, Troy gets the Venmo. And YouTube doesn't get any of it. So we appreciate it either way. Whatever's easy for you guys. We definitely don't have a preference. However you feel like donating, we appreciate. So we got Hazmat says, cheers Distillerium. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. WB Bourbon Guy, thank you. Prof. Rusty, thank you as well. And Kim F. I feel like
Kim F has been here before. It's been a while.
Does it just say Kim F normally?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Got to have a sticker. Just got here after fireworks on the lake tonight. Well, that sounds wonderful. I would like to see some fireworks on a lake right now. I'd like to be on a lake.
Boom boom sticker.
Boom boom
Let's
sticker.
fucking go.
Exactly. Is that Lee?
Yeah.
Okay. Top Dog, thank you. I say the word. There you go.
Excellent. I got it written down
Perfect.
here.
Okay.
So let's...
Oh, so YouTube did it on purpose because they're unique names. People were impersonating other people, and this way people don't fall victim to the spammers and the hackers and the you won something, congratulations, but you didn't win anything, and you just give them your information.
Gotcha.
That's probably the reason, because a lot of the big channels, you know, they'll be like, do not, I've got all these fake accounts that pretend to be me on here. If I didn't say your name in a video, it's not real, you know, kind of thing.
A warning would have been nice. I agree, Dennis.
I agree. Maybe they did warn us and I just ignored it, though. I don't know. Randy, thank you. Appreciate it. Now everyone's going to have to change their handle name so that it's more obvious who they are.
Yeah, and 78 watching, 54 entries, guys. Free whiskey. We're going to spin this in like a minute.
So, Torup, I think Dave lost access to his first account and he had to create a second account, and that's why there's a 1. So if someone has it without the 1, they probably hacked his account.
Barrel House, local distilleries can be unbelievable and their passion is undeniable. Yeah,
I can't believe that he dropped off the stuff by himself. Like, he just drove all the way over here and dropped off a whole box of stuff, because it wasn't even like a sealed box, so that's how we knew it wasn't shipped. It was just this open box on our porch with a note in it.
So Mark Hajek, I hope I said that right.
I would have said Hajek.
He emailed us like on a Sunday. It was the next day after one of our live streams, and he's like, hey, I know the owner of Distillarium, and he's wanting to get some samples out to people to try. Would you be interested? I'm like, absolutely. It was like 4 days later. This case showed up on our front porch with 5 full 750 ml bottles and then 2 packages of samples and a handwritten note. And so I start texting Kenny back and forth. We set this up. This whole thing happened super quick.
Very quick.
I mean, Yakima...
Like less than a month.
Yakima's not a quick drive, guys. It's on the other
Couple
side
hours,
of the mountains from us.
Two and a half,
it's
maybe?
like 4 hours.
3 hours? I don't know. It's a while. Obviously,
4
we're not
hours
making
through
that
a mountain
trip.
pass.
Yeah.
He just happened to be in the neighborhood, I guess, because this casino down the road from us, about 20 minutes or so, was doing a bourbon festival. But yeah, it couldn't have worked out any better. And hopefully we're going to get a barrel pick going out of this.
Yeah, that would be fun, and I think it would be good. And the price. I mean, the price is definitely right on that thing. So
yeah,
that's fantastic.
If we can do like the cask strength rye or the cask strength triticale, and we'll sample between them and decide which one we like the best. The Poor Decisions crew, not just us. But if it comes out at $49 plus shipping, I'm going to probably buy a case myself.
I know, jeez. We'll be like, here we go.
All right, let's bring up the wheel. And Mark from Northwest Bourbon, we will include you on this pick as well, buddy.
I was home when he dropped it off. But when I'm home alone, I put earbuds in and I blare things and I'm cleaning the house. And he may have knocked, but I didn't hear it. And so that kind of sucks that I missed him because I was home. Hopefully I didn't do anything embarrassing in front of the window. I don't even know.
I came home from work and there's a case of whiskey on the porch. I'm like, what the heck?
I don't know. I was home all day. I don't know what happened. Torup says it'd be great to do a Cedar Ridge as another budget-friendly pour.
The Cedar Ridge is coming out soon.
I think there is one, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not part of it, but yeah.
we weren't in on that pick, but we are supporting it because that's Poor Decisions. But that, I believe, just got bottled, so it won't be too long on that one.
4 hours, yeah, I want to try my Strive Slow. Yeah, I don't think it takes 4 hours to get there. We haven't driven to Yakima in quite some time, so maybe his memory of how long... He's like, yeah, there was this traffic jam, there was a car accident, it takes 4 hours. I think it takes like 2.5 hours.
You get stuck behind a slow truck going over White Pass.
Yeah, they didn't have the power to go up the hill. Okay. Oh, look, and we got another person says, bought 3 bottles.
Wow.
Yep, we're going to have to buy some bottles too, because I definitely want to try the cast strength Triticale, and that's one everyone says is really good.
Yeah. It like we've been saying all night, though, for $39, these 5-year...
Can't go wrong with any of them.
Like the entry-level bottles, they're solid good, guys.
There is a hint of that craft note on the nose,
yeah,
but not on the palate at all.
So we alluded to during that interview that we saw floaters in the bourbon, and I think it was just like that fatty acid esters were like solidified in there, because we were like, oh man, maybe it's gone bad. We should open it up before the stream so we don't embarrass this guy when we taste it, because guys, we were not expecting much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So we poured it up like as we were backstage ready to go. And on the nose, we're like, oh, it smells really crafty. And then we tasted it. And that crafty note on the nose did not transfer to the palate.
Thank goodness.
I mean, it's not like blow your socks off bourbon, but it's solid for $39. I would put
It's what I would expect for that price point.
I would put that up against anything else in the bourbon space at $39.
Yeah.
The rye is excellent. No dill, no mint. It's just a nice sweet and spicy rye. The Triticale stands out.
Yep. I think that's the best of the 90-ish proof point ones.
Yep.
So I imagine it's the best of the higher proof. But without trying the higher proof, it's really hard to guess, because Redwood Empire... My favorites of the lower proof, not my favorites of the higher proof. It changes, so you gotta try it to say for sure. But I'm still guessing that Triticale would be my favorite of the high proof. Grave Shot TX or
Grave Shot X,
whatever it's supposed to say. I'm waiting to buy until he lists the.
Triplexium.
Thank you. I was going to say triple something again.
So that was the triple cask finished Hungarian oak and French oak.
Yeah, and I think that sounds good because the Hungarian oak and French oak add so much flavor. Mm-hmm. It's probably good, but brandy.
Let me see here. The brandy.
80 proof.
80 proof, yep. Yes. And I'm not a brandy guy at all. I mean, this is probably the first brandy I've ever drank.
We drank brandy in Mexico because it was one of the alcohols in the room. But I don't remember it. It was just like free alcohol that we were like chugging,
yeah,
or mixing with Coke or something.
So I'm going to make a brandy old fashioned out of this. Honestly, it
tastes like bourbon.
If I did not know that was a brandy, it tastes like a bourbon.
It's like vanilla and oak and sweet.
Yeah, Mark's looking forward to the Triplexium. Yeah, I mean, again, we have not had Distillarium. Maybe a sample or two here and there, but expectations were not crazy high. And not because we're whiskey snobs. It's just you drink a lot of craft whiskey at $39 and you expect to be drinking a lot of grain. A lot of grain forward, youthy stuff. This is solid, 5 years old. I mean, I know I'm sounding like the Distillarium fanboy here, but color me shocked. This was good whiskey.
Yeah, Dennis Trish. So free Mexican brandy does not sound good. Yes, so it was the first time we went to Mexico. We were
at it. The second time.
No, it was the first time.
No, we went to Cabo.
No, it was Cabo was the first time.
No, Cabo was the second time.
What's the eastern one? The farther away? Is that?
So we went to
The first one.
Cancun.
Cancun.
The first
no,
time.
That was the first one.
No, they
it
gave
had
us,
the
they
room.
gave us a bottle of Jameson's in that
But they had the like pour spout things where you like put your cup up to it, pour it into your glass in the room. Anyway, one of the times we went to Mexico, they had like 3 bottles like mounted to the wall, and you'd like put your glass up to it, and it had the like automatic like 1 ounce pours into your glass, and it had a brandy. And honestly, we just put like Coke in it that was also free in the room and drink it that way. And no, it was not fantastic, but it did the job. And that was the important thing. This is way better than whatever that was that we drank.
All right, let's give some whiskey away.
Okay, so free whiskey. This is the hashtag Distillarium. Let's see who's going to win.
Must be present to win.
Must be present to win.
Dave's Basement Bar.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I went to Dave's Basement Bar and didn't even remember. Okay, so we have 73 people in chat according to the screen and 55 entries. So we'll give a second if anyone wants to enter. In Dretzky, we used to sip brandy on the mountain skiing. Very easy sips without getting shit-faced. Yeah, I mean, it's 80 proofed. It's sweet. It's easy. I could definitely take a shot of that, no problem. It's just not what I would normally pour into a glass.
I cannot believe they bought 280,000
as their first thing. Like, we've never
pounds
distilled
of grapes.
anything. We're going to get this huge amount that takes us a year to distill and barrel. Like, insane.
Chris, you're not wrong there.
Yes. Rule number 1, Laura's always right. Rule number 2, Laura is always right. Yes. William Hall, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I think that's long enough. I'm going to spin it.
Good luck, everybody. Must be present to win.
Good luck.
Who will it be? Rob Franklin.
Shit show supervisor, are you here
I
now?
feel like you just won recently, too.
Maybe.
Maybe he's on a roll.
Right, guy. Rule number 3, Lisa is also right. Yeah, you never know what's going to come out.
There he is.
Oh, he changed his name since earlier. You had Rob Franklin, now we got Rob Shit Show Supervisor. See, that's also confusing if people are changing their names midway through the stream. Okay, so patron giveaway.
We'll do the patron giveaway, and then I'm going to let Laura create the wheel for the super chat, and that will consist of 3 giveaways.
3 giveaways. First one.
The first
is
one
for
will
our
be the
giveaway.
veteran picks, and then the next 2 will be the Distillarium flight that we drink tonight.
Oh gosh, they updated this too. Why do these websites got to change what they look like? It hurts my eyes.
You're sounding so much like me right now. Why do things have to change?
Why do things have to change? Like, just keep it the same. Okay, so patron only giveaway. This is for the
Doc Swenson's.
Doc Swenson's Funky
Drummer and Smoke on Water.
Smoke on the Water. And it is going to Chris Jenkins.
Chris Jenkins.
Hope
Congrats,
you enjoy
buddy.
it. Congrats. We are big fans of both those bottles. We haven't had them in a long time, though. That's the thing. When we get a bunch of free whiskey and we buy a bunch of whiskey, it's hard to continue to drink what we have. So most of our getting through our bottles is just giving it away to people because
we drink more of y'all's whiskey than ours, to be honest with you. We love the samples. We do the pour guesses with them. We drink the samples when we're just watching TV at night, chilling. We were backstage with Matt last night drinking Piper John samples. It's just, we really appreciate you guys sharing your whiskey with us. We share our whiskey with you. That's the amazing thing about this community. I'm going to show you the Venmos so you can add them to the wheel.
All right. Top Dog, I hate change. I don't hate change always. It's just, I want some warning. If you're going to change the way something looks or works, the functionality of it, then I need some warning. Like, so all you guys in chat, if you would have had warnings, maybe some of you would have changed your names so that they matched what you're used to them saying. Or maybe not. Maybe you don't mind what it says, but it just was very shocking to us. Dennis says, I savor everything I've gotten from Baker Drinks just for the fact of how much they pay for taxes. Yep, there's plenty of that. So that's partially why we don't mind buying things that are shipped, because it's about the same price as buying it not shipped.
All right. Everybody hydrate. I know I haven't said that a lot tonight, but try to drink more water than whiskey.
I don't think we've done that, babe.
I've been drinking water in between every one of these. I just haven't like called it out. Typically I do though. Let's see. You won't say that when I send you that baller whiskey.
We might like it.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna like your baller whiskey better than you're gonna like our baller whiskey.
I think so too.
Top Dog's 57 years old. He really hates change. Top Dog, I'm 56. And every update that Samsung sends down for my phone, I have to give it to Laura.
He's like, I'm throwing this phone away. I'm going to a flip phone. I'm like, you can't go to a flip phone. You do too much stuff on your phone that you need, like, the smart stuff.
Yeah, but they change stuff. It, like, moves around. It's like these last couple updates they did were so painful. I'm still not used to them.
So I'm like the expert fix electronic things at work. I don't know how I ended up in that role, because the only reason I'm in that role is because I don't care. I'll like screw things up to try to fix it because I don't want to mess with it.
That's tech support
So
in the Baker household.
Literally everyone I work with comes to me like, oh, this app isn't working on my phone anymore, because we have an app that we have to clock in and out on at work, and we have to like clock in on our breaks and do all this stupid stuff on this app. So it occasionally doesn't work, and I'm like, okay, do you have an Apple phone or an Android phone? So I like have learned how to fix it. I don't know how I got volunteered for this role, but I like fix everyone's phones, and now the Wi-Fi is not working on people's phones because they did some weird stuff at work. So now I got to fix everyone's Wi-Fi on their phone. I'm like, how am I this person? I don't want to be this person. This is not my job.
So Top Dog hates the updates. Chris is wanting to go back to a flip phone. Randy Tiller hates the updates.
And Whiskey Wisdom, it is not Kronos. We used to have Kronos.
It's simpler.
And now we have Simpler, which is the worst timekeeping app I have ever experienced. It must have been real cheap, is all I gotta say.
Canadian Christmas
real
is
cheap.
his crackberry.
Okay. I gotta type these in now, Troy. Entertain the people.
Yeah, so this new time card system that she's just mentioned, I feel like it's like just the hospital's version of a cash register, because you have to account for every minute of your day. I spend probably 12 minutes a day clocking in and out and typing in the codes for the different clocking in and out. And you multiply that by a few thousand employees, and they cannot be making money off of this.
Not my job. I don't know.
Amazing movie about BlackBerry on Netflix. Okay. A jitterbug phone. I mean, honestly, Laura's daughter has like this little watch that has no functionality at all other than we can call it and she can call us. There's no texting, there's no apps, there's none of that. I wouldn't be opposed to just doing something like that.
Yeah, you say that until you get it, and then you'd be like, I can't text you. I can't get this app for the secret text messages, and
Yeah, I don't need it all.
I don't need it.
Another thing that drives me absolutely crazy is we don't have cable. We just do streaming apps through our Skynet.
Skynet.
And as much money as we pay for this kind of stuff, I just expect it to work, right? And it don't. Like, there's a specific show.
I don't know why that one show screws up the whole thing.
So it's on MGM Plus. It's called Condor. It's like a spy series. Anyways, literally every time I go to watch another episode of Condor, like, I'll get a freeze frame where I can hear the show running, like I can hear the audio, but it's freeze framed. I gotta reset the Fire Stick every time for that one show.
It's only that show, too, and it happens every time we watch an episode. We have to restart the Fire Stick. And Troy, I'm like, oh, we're gonna watch that next. Okay, I got something to do. You go restart it. You go through this.
She
try
makes
to play
fun of
it
me
like
for
5
raging.
times. But I don't know why. It's only that one show. Like, we watch other shows on MGM Plus and don't have a problem.
Big
But every
Cat's in the
time we
house.
click on that show, it's like, oh, can't do it.
What's up, Big Cat?
So, ASMR Whiskey, I think Chrono stopped, like, they stopped doing updates on it or something. Like, it's no longer an option for places. So that's why we don't have Chronos anymore. They don't have security updates or something. I don't know. Yeah, Skynet, that's what Troy likes to call our, I always forget the name.
The satellites.
Our, now I gotta look at the app. What's it actually called? Because Troy screws up my mind here. Starlink. It's
Same thing.
the same thing in Troy's mind. He calls it Skynet. Why not restart it before starting the show? You know, we could do that, but
Because
he likes
as
to test it because
As I said, I just expect this
Things to
high-tech
work.
stuff to work.
And it's only that one show. It's so weird. But it's a good show, so we still... I'm waiting for him to be like, we're just not going to watch that show anymore because I don't want to deal with
We're
it.
series committed at this point.
We've watched too many episodes that we have to keep resetting the Fire Stick just for that one show.
Yeah. And I mean, as long as we're on the what really grinds my gears rant here.
This is how you entertain people.
Well, why... What's up with these new shows coming out? Squid Games just came out on Netflix, season 3. It's 6 episodes.
Well, I think it's the second half of the season.
Well, it doesn't say season 2,
season
part 2.
Season 2 was a half season.
Season 2 was 7 episodes.
Yeah, but it was still a half season. It didn't end.
But this is not season 2, part 2. This says season 3, 6 episodes. I mean, y'all were backstage with us a few weeks ago when I ranted about The Last of Us only having 6 episodes. And you
Troy's
gotta
a
wait-
ranter.
You gotta wait 2 friggin' years to watch 6 episodes of a show. What's the point?
There you go. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different
Yeah.
result. Exactly. So we are insane. That's just how we are.
Chris, you ain't wrong. I mean,
100%.
if we didn't live up a very steep hill and at the very end of the road, I would be out there all day long yelling at people to get off my lawn.
There's just no one on our
There's
lawn.
just
There's
nobody here.
deer on our lawn. and then he'll be like, there's a deer in the lawn. You need to go chase him off.
We used to let the dog out to chase them off.
Or last night, there were some cute little babies.
Yeah, there was a mama deer and 2 babies, and these babies were probably...
Like a medium-sized dog.
They were probably 40 pounds.
They were teeny
you know,
tiny.
probably like this long from nose to tail.
And bouncing like a rabbit.
And about this tall.
Bouncing like a rabbit. They were so cute. And I like them for right now. And in about 2 months, I'll be like, I hate you. Get out of here. Because all they do is eat stuff. Okay. I don't like change. I like improvement. Yes. There you go.
Yes.
That's how we feel. I mean, I don't know. Troy likes no change as well. But I feel the same way. Okay. So I got everyone on the wheel.
Yeah, put it up and let them look. So
Okay.
you know
So
the deal.
there's the wheel. I'm going to go through the names. We got Scotty, Jeremy Dirks. I spelled it wrong. Sorry. I spell everyone's name wrong because I don't actually check that. Rob Franklin, Christian, Lori, Jared Lee.
JL.
Okay. I was like, did I write that? I might not have written that correct. I don't know.
That's right. That's
Okay.
JL.
Whiskey Shaman, Whiskey Wisdom, Charles, Raging Cajun, Joe B, Dave Vogelsang, Top Dog, Andy Rhodes, Silly Yorkie, Rob Rhodes, Chris Jenkins, Barrel House, Whiskey Nose, Donner Pass Whiskey, GT Mustang, Old Fashioned Ways, Hazmat, WB Bourbon Guy, Prof Rusty, Kim F, Bourbon Hunter, Top Dog, Randy Lalonde, and William Hall. If I missed anyone, please let me know. I'll give it a minute before I spin it. I can take care of your deer problem. We're in city limits. It's not allowed to take care of our deer problem.
We are more country than most places, and it's in the city limits.
It is in the city limits, though.
My last house was like 5 miles closer to town, out of the city limits.
Mine, but this is in city limits. So, there's rules, laws, that kind of thing. Would it have killed YouTube to tell us they were going to change our names? Yeah, probably not. They probably wouldn't have. Maybe there was some alert on your screen that was so tiny that you just didn't see it. There's always that possibility. Switched from DirecTV to Dish and could not figure out why the DVD player would not work. And a year after I looked behind the TV, the damn thing was not even plugged in. I love that. Why won't this work? It's garbage.
Oh, the rage fit. I can see myself doing it.
There you go. Can't hear a bow. Yeah, that's true. And you know what? Even if you heard things, we hear things all the time that we're like, I don't know that what I'm hearing is a legal thing. Probably okay.
So Grave Shot X.
Was
that the name that you paid under?
Let me go
She's
through
going
them
back and looking through them
Dave
all right
was
now.
saying Top Dog, Tracy, Rob Rhodes, Below Arvidge, Bourbon, Barrel House, Whiskey Nose, Donner Pass, GT, Mustang, Old Fashioned Ways, Hazmat, W Bourbon Guy. I don't see.
Was it a super chat or a Venmo?
Oh, okay. No, maybe he didn't pay. He was just here.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. I'm guessing it's a permanent change, but I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. So I'm going to shuffle this 3 times, and then I'm going to spin it. The first one is for our super chat giveaway, which is
the veteran picks.
Veteran picks.
There is 2 different Jack Daniel's Hero Select Ryes, 2 different ones. They were single barrel picks. They were sold on military bases at duty-free shops. There is a Jack Daniel's single barrel rye from Oak and Thieves, which was the literal first single barrel pick of a Jack Daniel's rye. It was for special forces. And then there's a 13th Colony cask strength bourbon that was for Wounded Warrior Project. So these are all supporting veteran charities.
Oh, so I must have just changed if Chris is saying that it's right on other channels' live streams, just not ours. And then other people saying it's permanent. So who knows? We'll just have to figure it out. As an executive producer of Whiskey Nose, I think I should get the samples. Well, you just might. Well, actually, we're already sending you samples, Top Dog.
Well,
so
he might want Marty's as well.
They're the same thing, right?
What does an executive producer do? Because I don't know if we need one or if we should have one.
Okay, well, I'm going to spin, and I can't afford an executive producer, Troy. We can't afford employees. We don't make that kind of money.
Bourbon Hunter Lee.
Bourbon Hunter Lee. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy these samples. I'm sure you will. Let me know when you're ready for me to spin again.
All right, I'm going to set this one off to the side.
Okay, so the next 2 giveaways are for all 5 samples from the Distillarium. So you'll get to try what we drank tonight, and then you'll know if you want to pick up a bottle for a good price, or if it's not for you. You know, because that's how it works. Not every whiskey is for everyone. So, next one is Whiskey Wisdom. Well, good thing he bought some bottles, because now he'll get to try the ones he didn't buy as well. So, I hope you enjoy those samples. Congratulations. And the final spin, same thing. All 5 samples of what we drank tonight. And it is going to Bourbon Hunter.
Bourbon Hunter Lee, you get the Distillery and flight as well.
You get 2 flights. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy them. Thank you for the super chats. Definitely.
Do you want to do
appreciate
one more since Lee won twice?
Sure, I can do that. I still have the wheel. If I can. Come on, computer. You can do it. Okay, let's see.
We're doing one more, y'all.
One more. Let's see who gets the 3rd flight from Distillarium. It is going to be Dave Vogelsang.
Dave Vogelsang.
Congratulations. Hope you enjoy those samples as well. I want to see the collaboration sticker on that wheel. Yeah, you know what? It's all rigged. Everyone's rigged. Exactly. Oh my god, rigged. Rusty. Yes, you were like so close. What has been our favorite dry fly? We have not really drank a whole lot of dry fly, and so we don't have a favorite.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not something we've really had.
that's another one of those, like, if you were watching earlier when we were talking to Kenny Miller from Distillarium, we're like, we saw the brand on the shelf, we knew about it, we were waiting to get to the actual distillery to try the flight there. Dry Fly is another one of those. It's on the east side of the mountains from us, and someday we're planning on making a trip over there to do the distillery trail, and we're going to try it at the distillery. So we've not had a lot of it.
Yeah, just don't want to
Dennis,
spend the money.
there will be a
without
hangout,
trying.
and we're going to drop that link here in a few minutes as we wind this down.
Yeah, I guess I should start creating that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. I know Saturday nights are busy, especially in the summer when the kids are out of school and everybody's doing vacations, and we're coming up on the holiday. It's humbling to see all of you week after week join us on this. You know, it's like our highlight of our week is we get to hang out and have a few pours with all of our friends. Hopefully you guys feel that same way. If not, you know, whatever. But we are going to continue the shenanigans backstage. Laura's going to put the link in the chat. I encourage each and every one of you that's not ready to be done for the night to click that link. You don't have to show your face on camera. You can just listen. A lot of people do that. But we're probably going to go for a while longer backstage. And
who knows what we're going to do back there?
Lots of shenanigans happen.
It's going to happen. Sometimes there's giveaways. Sometimes it's just hanging out. Sometimes it's wild. Sometimes it's tame. You never know what's going to happen backstage.
It's never been tame.
Well, I go to bed early, so who knows what happens after I go to bed, honestly. But I also put the link. I put the link in chat. I also put the link in the description of this video. So if you feel like, you know, going to do something for a half hour, an hour, and then want to like still hang out afterwards, it's in the link of this video. So find it. You can pop on later. We're usually on for a few hours afterwards. So it's there to be found by people.
Travis, we would love to get some samples from you. That would be super generous. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah,
like 5 different dry flies.
Yeah, because we've had like nothing from them. So, I think that's, is that all you got for a live stream?
Yeah, guys, come backstage with us. If not, we'll see you next Saturday.
If Lauren goes to be but Lisa stays, it would be a lot less tame. Yeah, you never know. Lisa could show up. I am drinking. You never know.
You're going back to the margarita.
I'm going back to the whatever this
Cherry
is.
Dr. Pepper margarita.
Cherry Dr. Pepper margarita. So cheers, everyone. We will see you again next week or whenever you show up again. So thanks for being here.
Love you guys.
Cheers. Have a great night.